Stay nostalgic.
You guys ever see The Lion King? If you saw my last Game Gear review, you know that I'm not super big on Disney movies. I saw a handful, but The Lion King was one of them. In my opinion, it was one of those movies that had a lot of really serious moments and at times challenged kids with subjects such as death, coping with the loss of a loved one, betrayal, all of that kind of stuff, which is one of the reasons why it was so memorable. Mainly because it was like one of 5 Disney movies I really liked as a kid. And of course, since it was a Disney movie that came out in the 90s, you bet your ass there was going to be some video game adaptations. So I figured I would cover another Game Gear Disney game, and you guessed it, that game is The Lion King. If you haven't played any version of The Lion King, they're that style of side-scrolling platformers that was really popular in the 90s, mainly because it was the easiest way to turn any popular Disney IP into a video game. The first level of the game is the Pride Lands. Here you'll play as baby Simba, jumping and swinging from different platforms, eating bugs for health, and smashing tiny creatures. You can even let out a tiny 8-bit roar that will make even the hardest man soft. Aww. But don't let that adorable roar fool you, it actually has a purpose. It stuns enemies in their tracks, making it easier for you to jump on them or just to avoid them altogether. Once you reach the top of the ridge, the hyena will be the first boss you fight. Now I haven't played The Lion King in a long time, so at first I had no clue how to kill this thing. Every time I jumped on it, I would take damage, so I was really confused, like I was doing something wrong. Turns out, you have to let the hyena jump around a little bit until it gets tired out. Once it stops moving and starts to pant is when you want to jump on it, and then you can do damage. Rinse and repeat until the hyena dies from blood loss. Level 2 is the main event. This level is kind of a puzzle, sorta, a puzzle in its most basic form. You swing from the tails of rhinos, which launches you into the trees. There will be a bunch of monkeys hanging in the trees, and these guys can launch you to different locations. You'll have to roar at them to get them to switch the direction they throw you. I feel like I'm describing a fever dream I once had. There's a little bit of trial and error, but to be honest, an actual monkey could figure this out. The toughest part for me in this level was jumping from one giraffe head to the next. And here's where the controls start to become noticeably laggy, and it's pretty common to have controls like this for a game of this era. When you press the jump button too quickly after already pressing it, you just won't jump. There's like a half-second delay of you pressing the button and the character jumping, so it's something you'll get used to obviously because it's in a lot of games of this time. Throughout every level of the game, there's little cave drawings of Simba that function as a checkpoint. The game doesn't have unlimited continues, so once you're out of lives, the game is over and you have to start all the way back at the very beginning. Of course, there's always a way to acquire extra 1-ups. One is by just finding them sprinkled throughout the level, and the other way is by playing the Pumbaa minigame in between levels, which you have a chance to get I think at least 3 or 4. And trust me, you're gonna need them. Level 3 is the Elephant Graveyard, and all I have to say about this level is bones. Is that an elephant tusk in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Level 4 is the Stampede. This level is very notorious in the movie because it's where Mufasa gets murdered by my boy Scar. But in the game, it's a very watered down, bare bones, simplistic version of that where Simba has to dodge 3s of stampeding bison. They're always moving from the left to the right side of the screen in the exact same pattern. There will be 3 bison and then 1 bison. You can run ahead of them and jump onto the ledges to give yourself a second before jumping back down. This level can be a pain in the ass, one because if you get hit by a bison, even if you have full life, you have to start at the very beginning of the level, and if you get hit, it takes 1 full spiral of health away. Needless to say, I died more than a few times. Too bad Mufasa didn't have extra 1-ups. RIP. Stage 5 is Exile. This is another filler level, kind of like the Elephant Graveyard, where there's not a whole lot to do aside from eating bugs and avoiding enemies. Make your way from the top left of the screen to the bottom right, and you'll progress to the next level. And just like in the movie, once you reach certain levels of the game, Simba will actually grow up. This level is the first time jump, and you'll notice some slight changes to his character model, as well as a deeper roar. It's a nice little touch. Stage 6 is Hakuna Matata, it's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Hell yes, this was the best scene in the movie in my opinion. Just a bunch of bros living it up, sliding on water slides and eating big jungle bugs. And I don't know if it was just me, but did those bugs they were eating in the movie look really good? No one? Alright.
You know, if you think about it, Hakuna Matata is just Disney's way of saying fuck it.
Honestly, this was a missed opportunity to be a really fun bonus stage. Get rid of the Pumbaa minigame in between levels, and make this stage the fun bonus stage where you're sliding on water slides and have a chance to get more 1-ups. Oh yeah, and not have you fight a giant monkey. This boss fight contradicts the entire premise behind Hakuna Matata. He's really easy, he doesn't move and he just swings in one direction, so in between his swings just attack him and he'll die. Next stage. Level 7 is Simba's Destiny, and here we get our final time jump. Simba is now fully grown, equipped with a roar that clearly sounds like his balls have fully dropped, and you now have an actual scratch attack that can be used while standing or jumping. Though his hitbox for the attack is god awful, I swear you're better off just avoiding enemies altogether than taking a risk damaging yourself just to kill something that you don't have to.
And unfortunately, this level is more of the same filler we've already seen, just with a different level layout.
There's not much to say aside from you fight another monkey. How many monkeys did they fight in the movie? Next. Level 8 is Be Prepared. This is Scar's song in the movie where he basically is Hitler and commands his hyena Nazi army. But we don't get that in this game obviously because, well, I think even Disney censored that out at some point. And again, it's more filler, literally nothing new except how the level looks. Same as the last level, a great song and a great scene in the movie, but here is literally a lifeless husk of that. Next. Moving on to level 9, Hyena Lairs. What's that you say? Another filler level? This level is actually a little bit annoying because you go in the obvious direction you're supposed to and it leads you to a dead end, only until you realize that you can go even further down to an out-of-sight platform where you make your way to the bottom right of the screen and you win. And finally, we reach level 10, Return to Pride Rock. This is the final level of the game and consists of one boss fight with Scar, your evil uncle who murdered your father to become king of the lions.
Yeah, finally, this is gonna be a bloody gruesome fight to the death.
Or just slap Scar 2 or 3 times until he falls off the cliff. Then you'll be greeted by a really pixelated still shot of Simba and Girl Simba, to whom we never see once in this entire game until now. At least Aladdin had actual cutscenes with dialogue to give the game some small sense of depth.
Fuck it. Well, I can't really say that this game, at least the Game Gear version of this game, was better than the Game Gear version of Aladdin. I actually had more fun and there was a lot more variety and depth to that game. Here, it's really just simplistic. It's the bare bones of what they could make back then on the Game Gear, so But I'll always have good memories with The Lion King. It was, again, one of those few Disney movies that I actually did see, and I only know a surface level amount, like the names, Mufasa, Scar, Simba, Timon and Pumbaa, Rafiki, I think the monkey's name was. That's about it. Yeah, you know, good memories with this game, and I'm sure a lot of people have played this and are thinking, you know what? This game's not that bad, and it's really not. I can't knock it too much, it's the Game Gear version, and really all of the games of The Lion King are pretty much the same. There are some differences within the other games because, well, they have to. Better graphics, sound, and some differences within the game's mechanics, but really, this game is just a very basic version of those, and that's all it needs to be. I can't really recommend playing this specific version of the game. It's fine for what it is, but if you really want to get the full Lion King experience, you can actually buy it now on the Switch along with the Aladdin game, which is pretty cool. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode, you guys. Have you played this game before or any of the Lion King versions? Let me know which one is your favorite or which Lion King character is your favorite. Mine is Scar. Yeah, Jeremy Irons. I would like to give a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much. Nuka P. Demon on YouTube. Russ Lyman on YouTube, Sean Phillips, Mr. Pisley, Aaron Parks, Dren Hadamata on YouTube, Nintendo25 on YouTube, Amanda, Anonymous, Creek Queen on Twitch, Wonder Woman Rose, Looney, and last but not least, Uneven Pavement. Ha! If you guys want to get your own personal shout out at the end of every future video that I do, go check out my Patreon page. Link is down below in the description. It's a $1 a month tier that gets you a shout out, whether it's verbal or on screen. The more people I get, the less people I can shout out verbally, so I'll have to put it on screen. So yeah, go check that out. And I have merch if you want to get a Nerd Lair t-shirt or something like that, or even a coffee mug. Link is down below, and if you buy something from there, thank you. Remember guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button, and please comment down below. I always love hearing what you guys have to say about my videos, or just the game I'm talking about in general, or whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time in the Nerd Lair. Stay nostalgic.